Hi, this is Mrs. Arriaga, and I just want to continue our discussion about EasyBib by just going over a couple more things. So again, I logged into EasyBib. I can see up here that I'm logged in. You'll also notice that I have my orange icon for the EasyBib extension, which will allow me to cite websites. So let me just click on my specific project, Spinelli iSearch, and then if I click on bibliography, it's going to take me to this screen. If I am using one of the databases that EasyBib has partnered with, I will be able to cite directly from the database article I'm using. So EasyBib has partnered with SIRS. It's also partnered with ABC Clio, and it's partnered with Gale, and it's partnered with EBSCO. So if I'm in one of these databases, and if I search for class size, and let's just pull up a specific article for an example, I'll see that I can export to EasyBib by clicking on this button that says Export to EasyBib. This is made possible because, again, EasyBib has partnered with the database SIRS. So if I click on that, it will ask me, do I want to import the citation without abstracts? Yes. Keep that as the default and then click Import. So now I have that article from the database SIRS listed in my bibliography. So now I want to show you a different database. So if I go back and if I click on, we just did SIRS, if I click on, let's say, ABC Clio, if I find a particular article in here, so if I do class size, and let me just pull up an article just as an example. And if I click Cite this document, I can export to EasyBib in this way by clicking here, Export to EasyBib. It pulls up the field, so I want to make sure that I skim through it and make sure it looks correct. In this case, everything looks correct. And here it says Display URL. I'm going to choose Yes, because if Mr. Spinelli is looking through my citations, I want to make sure he can easily access the article rather than trying to search for it. He could just access it via the URL and then create citation. So then I have my second citation that I just added. So as you noticed, there are different locations to cite on EasyBib from the databases that have partnered with EasyBib. With SIRS, we noticed it was over here, here in ABC Clio, it's over here. And then I'll show you in Gale. If we go down to Gale, and Gale is a power search, meaning it's going to search across all the databases. So I can check all cross-searchable products, which means it's going to look through all of these databases for my search query, which is class size in this case. And let's say I choose this one, and to cite using EasyBib with Gale, I'm going to go over here and click on Citation Tools, and then it defaults to MLA, which is correct. So I need to click Select, so it's highlighted, and then click EasyBib. That's going to export it. And for some reason it didn't export, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to select it again and click EasyBib. And let's see if it added it. And there it is. That was the one from Gale. So we can see that. It ended up adding it to my bibliography. If you find that you're having difficulty exporting citations out of the database and importing them into EasyBib, try a different browser. Sometimes that works. If you are trying to cite an article from a database that did not come from a database that EasyBib partnered with, you will need to use this tool right here. And you can do so in this way. So I'm going to go back to the lab guide, and I'm going to search in one of the databases that has not partnered with EasyBib. So I know Facts on File, Issues and Controversies is one of those databases. So I'm going to click in that, and I'm going to search class size and see what comes up. So I'm going to click on this one. And this is a great example because this is not from a magazine. It's not from a newspaper. It is actually created by the database itself, this example. And I know this because if I scroll down, I see the citation information, and this comes from Experience. This is the article title. We see that at the top of the page too, right here. There's no author. I see that this comes from the Issues and Controversies database, and it's owned by Infobase Learning. So sometimes databases actually hire their own people to write articles, especially if they find there are gaps in certain topics in their databases and they need to provide more information. So in this case, this is actually a database article from a database. So to cite that, I would go to EasyBib and I need to identify what it is. So I know it's a database article. So if I click on database, it then says, what kind of database article are you citing? So in this case, these tabs are where are you finding it? We're finding it in a database. And so what is it? Is it a magazine article? Is it a newspaper article? In this case, it's article published by database. So I'm going to choose that. Then it's going to open up the fields, and that's where I can populate it. So I can go back to this particular article, and it's really nice if you scroll down, you can just copy and paste some of these fields. So I'm going to copy the article title, and I'm going to go back in and post this here. And I'm going to, this is the actual database name, and that would go right here. And the publisher is the owner of the database. And you'll learn with Experience what these are, but I know it's Infobase Learning. It comes after the database in the citation. And then, is there an author? Nope, there's not. It was published September 3rd, 1999. So I can put this 3rd, and then it's September, and then 1999. And then the date access is today. I accessed it today. And then the URL. This is the permalink, meaning you can go back and access it. You don't want to grab the URL up here. You want to always grab it down below. That's the permalink. And they actually have it here, right down here as well. So I could copy that or right here. Some databases don't have permalinks, so you just have to look for them, but they're usually at the bottom. And then I want to display URL and then create citation. So then I just created my own citation. So just a reminder, the tabs are identifying where you're getting the information from. If you actually read it in print from a book, you would choose book. If you actually read it from a newspaper, you would choose a newspaper. When you're reading it from a database, you choose database, and then you identify, okay, well, what is it? What is the type of information that I'm reading? Is it a book? Is it a journal article? Is it a magazine article? Databases can contain any of these things. And then finally, I want to mention that there are lots of information formats. And so if you click on all 59 options, you see many of them. And it's a growing list. 10 years ago or 20 years ago, we didn't have blogs, and now blogs is a source of information. So we have to have a way to cite it. But you'll notice there's an interview option, and this will be the way you cite your interview. So you can choose interview, and then you will populate the fields. So this will be a personal interview. You will have conducted it, and you can identify the interview title, and then who are the contributors? Who did you interview? And the interviewee is the person you interviewed. I hope that this information is helpful. Please come to the library or email me at aarriaga@morocattholic.org if you need further clarification. Thank you.